You are listening to Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast with your host, Michael Peterson.
Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast, and today is August 31st, 2023, and thanks for hanging with me. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, and then head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to give the blog some love, and then check out youtube.com/hellocupcakeitsme to give the YouTube channel some love. Like and subscribe to both, and then make sure that you follow me on all the social medias. Instagram.com/hellocupcakeitsme, and all the links down below. So, welcome. Today is episode 81, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. So I'm doing a simulcast. I am recording video as I am doing the podcast as well, because a lot of the platforms that I've seen lately have been asking if I want to do video or if I want to do just audio. So I don't see how it's any different than me doing the YouTube, but I'm gonna see it. And if you guys like this format, then I'll start recording a video along with the podcast. So, yeah, with it being Thursday, I have a whole slew of things that I got to do today. One of them is I have a physical therapy appointment coming up here in an hour and a half. And hour and a half, I don't know, somewhere in there. But, and then I have some other running around that I got to do or whatever. And my sister just called me from her cruise ship and was showing me like Sitka. I don't know, one of the places. Ketchikan, Sitka. I think it was Sitka. But regardless, she's like, does this view look familiar? I was like, oh, it does. Like, on the inside, when you're going into Ketchikan and Sitka and stuff, you have to come through an inside passage. And so on one side of the ship is just like this beautiful, lush, green land. And then on the other side of the ship is beautiful, lush, green land. And it's just like, oh, this is heaven. And they're having like the same kind of weather we're having here today, which is kind of foggy and overcast. So that's kind of like nice and just like, oh, I miss that area. But she's having a lot of fun on her cruise. And Saturday, I've got to get up like kind of early in the morning and make my way to Seattle to go pick her up. And not looking forward to that, because I have to like not only get the car here, because my niece is using her car for the week while her mom is on this cruise, but I have to get my niece to get over here, and then we have to then get from here to the ferry terminal, make sure that we're on the ferry at the proper time, so we're not getting over to Seattle too early or too late, and then get to the dock and be able to pick them all up. It's just way too much. Like, there's a part of me that really wants to tell her, you know, why don't you take a taxi cab to the ferry dock and I'll just pick you up at the ferry. But yeah, I don't know how to go about arranging us meeting up, because at the ship terminal, it is fucking chaos. Like, chaos incarnate. So, when she docks in Victoria tomorrow, she's gonna call me, and then we'll, like, work out a plan of attack from there. But, oh, gosh. I miss my cruise. I really do. Like, about day 3, I was just like, I don't want to get off of this boat. I'm good. I'm boat folk now. Like, I want to just stay here. Have any of you ever been on a cruise? If so, where did you go? What were your thoughts, feelings, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so, yesterday I had a doctor's appointment with my diabetic specialist, and he's like my secondary primary physician. Like, I talk to him about more stuff than I talk to my primary doctor about, because I've actually been dealing with him as a doctor longer than my primary. So, like, I think my primary care physician gets, like, kind of, well, why are you talking to him about that stuff? That's my job. I'm like, well, sorry, he's higher up on he's higher on the totem pole, dude. But I keep my care team involved across the board. Like, my physical therapist knows what my chiropractor is doing. My chiropractor knows what my physical therapist is doing. All of my doctors, all of my, like, medical team know what each other are doing, and I've signed affidavits and whatever else, allowing them to share information that is pertinent to my care. The only time I never did that was when I was in mental health, because I just didn't trust the mental health facility. And I'm not going to go on to a whole tyrant about the mental health facility and lack thereof facilities here in my area. But the one thing I am going to say, though, is on that topic is right now, DSHS, Department of Social and Human Services, is being sued by the state for not providing care, mental health care, for persons who are coming out of incarceration, and not providing mental health facilities and care to keep people from not only offending but reoffending. And I think this is a fucking wonderful thing, because mental health care is lacking across the nation. But here in this state, particularly in my area, there is no mental health services. We have counselors and privatized therapists galore, but there's no one that takes state insurance except for the county mental health facility, and that is a huge disservice and an injustice to a populace that needs care and that needs help. And so I think that this is a step in the right direction. That there are so far 23 counties that are putting together a lawsuit against DSHS for not providing the care that is needed for people who are in the justice system, or for people that need help. So, hopefully, like I said, this is a step in the right direction, and that there's going to be more facilities that are opened and more services that are offered, and not just the one, like, kind of overcrowded county facility. So, enough about that. I can make a whole video about that, and I'll probably talk about that on one of the YouTube videos that I do, but I'm not going to, like, take time and, like, discuss all of that here. Because as some of you may or may not know, especially if you're new to the Hello Cupcake universe, I am a certified peer counselor, state certified peer counselor, I should say. And so, mental health is like a huge, like, passion project of mine, especially since I deal with my own mental health issues. So all of that aside, my friend group and I, we are putting together a, today is the first day of the auction for the Witches Walk spectacular, and it's something that we did last year that like received such an amazing like response from the community. Like, we had people coming from two and a half hours away, and it was just really nice to see the community like come together the way that they did. And so this year we're doing a concert, and we are also doing the parade, which was the main focus. Last year was just the parade. This year we're doing a concert. We have 2 bands, both of them local bands, but we got 2 bands. And then we are doing the auction, and we have some amazing stuff up on for the auction. We have comic books. We have a rare Magic the Gathering card that has been signed. We have a spa package. We have a massage table. We have an air conditioner. We have brooms, like witches brooms that I handmade. We have all kinds of stuff that is up for auction, and I'll put that in the link in the comments section or in the show notes or whatever you want to call it, so you guys could check it out. But some of the comic books and anime that we have are pretty amazing. Like, there's stuff that I'm like, I might need to bid on that. Like, one of the comic book packages is X-Men, and I fucking love X-Men. Like, X-Men is my go-to cartoon, or whatever you want to call it. That, like, growing up, Marvel Comics and the X-Men were my anti-drug. Like, all my friends were, like, being fuck-offs and drinking and smoking and whatever else and doing drugs, and I was the comic book nerd. I took every scrap dollar that I could find laying around the house, and I would go to this one baseball card shop that sold comics and all that other stuff, and I would buy myself packs of Marvel Masterpiece cards, and I had the entire set from 1990, 91, 92, 93, most of 94 and 95, 96, and part of 97. And some of those cards were worth $200-$300. And then on top of that collection of Marvel comic cards and DC comic cards, I also had Pogs. Now, I know I'm dating myself by telling you all about my Pogs, but anyone who's like in their late 30s, early 40s, or maybe even a little bit older, know about Pogs. Well, I had Pogs before they came here to mainland America. They first hit over in Hawaii, and my sister was stationed in Hawaii at the time, and she sent them over in like this huge Ziploc, like gallon-sized Ziploc baggie. And I was actually the first person in my town to have Pogs, and I introduced everyone at school to Pogs, and then all of a sudden they just kind of blew up. So I had like this thick 3-ring binder, like it was literally that thick, filled with Pogs. Like, you used to be able to buy these plastic insert sheets and you could stick your Pogs in there, and I had them all lined up with like all the Spider-Man was on this page, all the Wolverine was on this page, all of like the Rat-Fink was on this page. I know Rat-Fink, okay? I'm dating myself right now, I know. And then I had like all the slammers in one area, and then I had the lava tubes. I had like a 6-foot lava tube filled with nothing but Pogs, and then like the last, I don't know, 12 inches, so like the last foot was just a whole bunch of slammers and stuff. And one of my biological egg cartons, boyfriend's friends, who was a strung out heroin asshole, stole all of my Pogs and sold it for some smack, and that was the last of that. So I never got Pogs again because I was really defeated. Like, I had this really cool slammer that was really thick brass that had a hologram on it. Paid $25 for it. And that was like my pride and joy. Like, I knew I was going to annihilate the fuck out of whoever came up against me and my brass slammer. But, oh well, you know. And then I would still have all of my comic cards, but the house fire took all of that away. So, like, all my childhood toys, like my original He-Man action figures, my Transformers, my GoBots, my Toxic Crusaders, my original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, all of those gone. So, like, shit you can't even find at, like, the thrift stores anymore. But, oh well. I collect Funko Pop now. There's just, you know, half of my collection. Actually, that's not even half of my collection. That's like a very minuscule amount of my collection. I have right here, there's a bookshelf. Right over here, there's a bookshelf. Along the banisters where my windows are, those are filled. There's a bookshelf over here that's filled. There's another little bookshelf thing like right over off this way that has a bunch on it. There's some on my television, some on my speaker next to my television, and I got 6 shelves in my bedroom. Wait, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 4 shelves in my bedroom that are completely filled, top to bottom, and then just some along my television bar in my bedroom, and then some on top of my TV. Like, I got them everywhere. And there's a bag over here over my shoulder that has 3 more in it that I got the other day from the Funko Pop store. So, yeah, to say that I have an addiction is a little understatement. At current standing, I have 544 of them. Yeah. I'll hold my head in shame. Yeah. And it all started off with 1. And it was a Superman Funko Pop. And I bought it on my birthday because I only had like $20. I wanted something for myself that made me feel good. And I was really depressed and just not feeling it. I was like all up in my emotions on that birthday, and I knew that I wanted something Superman, and I happened to find that Superman Funko Pop. It was like $10, and I said, let's do it. And when I got it, I was like, oh my god, this is really cute. I like it. Like, everything about it, I was just like enthralled with it. And so I started looking. I was like, okay, let me see what else they have. And then I found an Alice in Wonderland. I was all cart. I found a Mary Poppins cart. And like, that's how it started. Is I started finding these little characters that I liked, and I liked the way that they were conceptualized. And if you don't know what Funko Pop are, I just happen to have one right here. This is like one of my extras that I have. But these are them. This is Magneto from the X-Men movies. And so they're just these little plastic figurines. And then it shows you all the different characters that you can pick up. And I really don't have any of the movie characters. Not from this particular movie, anyways. As a matter of fact, I don't have any of those characters. Magneto is the only one that I have. And the only reason I have this Magneto is because I went to Walmart and all of their Funko Pop were $1. And I just cleared the shelf. I just so happened to have like an extra $50 that day. And so I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to try to sell them off. I can't sell shit. So I have extras and I use them as gifts. And so I bought like 7 Magnetos, a bunch of like Dumb and Dumbers, and just a whole bunch of other ones. And so, yeah, these are my little extras or what have you. What else? So, hopefully, on Saturday when I go to pick my sister up, I'm going to be able to go to Pike Place and go to the Golden Age of Comics and get myself another Funko Pop from there. And the Golden Age of Comics is this huge, like, just store with all kinds of geekery in there. And their Funko Pop wall is floor to ceiling, and it takes up probably a good 60 feet. So I'll be in there for just a couple of minutes looking for things. I mean, I don't dig through the shelving like some other people do, because one, there's so many fucking people in that area, and two, I just don't have the patience to sit there and dig through 60 feet floor to ceiling of Funko Pop. And my family is not going to stand by while I nerd rage and go through all of that. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and let you go. So let me know, do you want me to continue to do video along with this, or what? So anyways, questions, comments, concerns, shoot me an email, hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com. And like I said, make sure that you go check out the YouTube channel and the blog and go give them some love by liking and subscribing, and check out the links down below, and I will talk to y'all later.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been listening to Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast with your host, Michael Peterson. Please make sure to check back often, as new episodes are released bi-weekly. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to send a message to helloCupcakeIt'sMe@gmail.com. And until next time, stay happy, safe, and keep doing the best you can with what you have been given.